Hello, Assalamu alaikum, and welcome to another episode of G Talks, where we explore ideas and discuss topics about the present and future of education. In today's very special episode, we will be exploring a pathway that is very relevant for our students, a GED pathway. We are going to explore what it means for the students who are planning for their university and what is its global acceptance and academic strengths. And to discuss this topic, we have with us here today Mr. Ben, who is the International Development Manager of GED. Welcome, Mr. Ben, and thank you for coming here at Greenwich.
Thanks for having me here.
So it is your first time in Pakistan.
Well, this is my second time.
Second time.
I was here in year 2024, but this is my first time in Karachi.
Yeah. So tell me, how's your experience so far?
Well, I had a good experience. I have been greeted and welcomed very well. And as a Thai, I think we share in common in terms of hospitality. Thais and Pakistanis, we welcome the guests very well. And thanks to you and everyone here, I have been treated very well and I feel like home.
I'm very happy to hear that. So before we actually jump onto the GED, a little bit when I read about you, I did my research before, conducting this podcast. I found out about a lot of your cross-cultural experience because I am, in my understanding, as your work as an international development manager, you interact with people from so many different cultures. So tell me, how does this cross-cultural exposure shapes you professionally? And what does it mean for students to be exposed to different cultures in the world?
Oh, thank you very much. And, by saying that, I am humbly telling you that this job gives me the chance to engage in that sort of like many international countries. So basically, as you said, Eesha, it's true that, each country have their own culture. And I'm lucky because a lot of those countries that I've been to, they welcome me very well. And what I learned from that is that everyone, they're normally friendly, they're interactive, and actually we can make friends. And in terms of education, I also would like to thank that I'm working for GED because when I go to those countries, and one of the topics is that, GED is like the pathway as you introduced a little bit. So that gives me a chance to learn more about the culture. And I think everyone that I met with and even meeting now here in Karachi, they have the open mind. So I think that's the key that, when you have open mind, we can exchange regardless of the culture and whatever. So that's a good one.
Yeah. So let's move towards GED. I think the best is if you explain it to the parents and students who are potentially looking for avenues to pursue their education, that what exactly is GED? What does it mean to opt this pathway? And how it compares with the traditional system of OA levels or intermediate and, matriculation?
Absolutely. So GED is actually its high school equivalency credential. It was incepted in the US in year 1942. So now we're talking, we are now at 2026, so it's already 84 years. And actually because of equivalency, so anyone who by whatsoever reason that they cannot accomplish the high school and obtain the diploma or certificate of the high school before, they can come to GED. And since GED is actually owned by Pearson, and we have the test centers, opening across the world. So for those who come to GED, once they are ready to go to the test, they can go to the test centers anywhere by themselves. So basically, we have that available in terms of test centers locating in nearly capital cities in the world. Not all country, but mostly. So for example, here in Pakistan, we have that in, of course, Islamabad, and also have here in Karachi as well. So it's the opportunity for anyone who would like to accomplish and acquire the equivalency to high school. That's going to be the pathway for them because once they obtain this diploma, they are eligible to apply to university. And that's the open door for them because they can enter into the higher education world.
Wonderful. So, taking this question further, you see how the landscape of education is changing all over the world.
Right.
It's not one size fits for all now. Students are looking for avenues that align with their goals, and now skill is more important, and critical thinking and analytical thinking is
Yeah.
what's needed.
Right.
So how does GED ensure to inculcate that in their students?
That's the best one, and you mentioned that because we embed the idea of critical thinking, analytical thinking for that. So, for example, GD actually consists of 4 subjects. We have mathematics, we have science, social studies, and English, and all of which conducted in English. And then the question that we ask, it doesn't mean that you remember all the things and you can come and do the test. It's not. Actually, we ask all of the test takers, in terms of like, what do you think about this? What is your idea about this? Would you agree or you disagree? And if you agree, why did you agree? So for them to be able to reply, they need to read through all the passages that mentioned in the text, especially for English. And then they can take something from the passages and say, yeah, you know what, these are the points that mentioned and agree with that. And it's not just only that, because we're going to ask them to include what they have on their own thoughts.
Okay, so taking that forward, so when we talk about GED and this analytical thinking, a very common question that comes in mind is the academic rigor. That the preparation time for GED is 3 months. If I'm not wrong, is that true?
Well, it's flexible,
It's
and I can tell that it could be that month, as you said, or it can last longer, like a year. So GED is actually it's about the capability test, So, some people, they have capability at a certain point and they might keen on some subjects. For example, I might be good at mathematics, I might be good at science, but I might be not good in English and social studies. So by saying that, if I'm gonna be testing my knowledge about mathematics or science, I possibly can do it well or even can pass easily. But then when it comes to the subject which I'm not good at, I need to study more. So I could say that it's not fixed that, hey, you can just finish within this certain months. It can be months or years. Depends on how much that you are ready at the time.
All right, so that means that it does offer flexibility to students on how
That's
they
the
to
word,
prepare. Learning for it is one thing, and this flexibility and provide the testing the students as well. But when it comes down to actual learning of students, the teachers and their capability, that matters a lot.
Yep.
So do you provide any training sessions or professional development initiatives or programs to the teachers who are teaching these students?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have that sessions available as well. And actually before that, Eesha, when we work with our appointed partners, we ask them to provide information about the teachers and qualifications that they have obtained before appointing. And of course, for example, for the teachers who are going to be teaching English or mathematics, they're supposed to be graduated according to the subjects for that. But of course, apart from that, before they go for the teachings, we have the sessions provided, just to make sure that they know the objectives and they know how to teach that. And in addition to that, we also have information freely available for them that they can access and study that by themselves. Okay. So, they're going to be ready to go further in terms of like preparing the student for the test.
So that does that also mean that the GED preparation is also in a way standardized across different maybe countries or different places where students prepare for that?
You are right, yeah, because actually when they pass the exams and once they pass all the 4 subjects, it means that their credential, and the credential is actually issued by the superintendent office in Washington, D.C. in the States, and that applies globally regardless of the country that they study or they tested from. So that's the one.
So I believe check and balance is very, very important. You'd agree with me. So how do you ensure the quality across all the centers for GED, the testing centers maybe?
Oh yeah, I mean we refer to that as the test prep partners, right? For those who are preparing the students for teaching. So I think we have pre work to do. I mean, before they're going to become our test prep partner, they are required to submit the application, and we have all kinds of those things in terms of academic ready that they have, like experience, facilities, numbers of years that they have been in the market, or any awards or any successful, especially in academic area. And we go through that, and we normally talk and sort of like interview. So we need to filter for those that will be coming to make sure that they're going to be at least really ready for us. And of course, throughout the years, we also measure in terms of the students that pass and how much that those students, going to be perform and even successful later in their career life.
Okay, so another very important concern that parents might have is about the acceptance of GED globally. I understand that in majority of, if I'm not wrong, most of the places it is accepted if students want to pursue their university education. But in some jurisdictions, there is still some uncertainty. So how would you address the concern of parents there?
Yeah, absolutely. So actually, we have been working with, some jurisdictions across the world. But actually, in terms of numbers of countries, we have, I think, more than 90 countries that welcoming GED credential. But we still have some work to do. And I mean, for those who are going to study abroad, especially US, and some of those, normally they are more where they're intended to welcome more. But of course, we still have some work to do, and Pakistan is one of which that we like to work with this kind of organization here as well.
All right. So, like we talked earlier, that education landscape is changing, right? All over the world with this AI and the technological advancements that we have. How do you see GED fitting in for non-traditional learners there?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, for us as the educational provider, and we are in the world of education, we know that education is dynamic and it's not stagnant, right? So basically, actually, for example, our parent company Pearson, they just signed the agreement with Microsoft in terms of like, sharing and then synergizing some kind of like the AI and information all together. So, I mean, this is a trend that we have seen from what Pearson is doing, and of course that applies to us as well. So basically, we started to, in terms of operation, we engage like the AI to help us in terms of, interacting with the test takers or students. We call them test takers, where they come to us and they can apply for the account, and it's free. We don't charge them for that. And from time to time they might have questions, discuss things, so we engage that. And moving forward, we are developing and seeing to have AI helping us for that, for the sake of efficiency. But I mean, we still maintain the level of educational level, but it must be at a good quality before going out for that. We foresee more that AI is going to be helping, but one thing that I can tell you is that what AI cannot replace is about interaction, especially with human. So this is something that we're still working on. For example, in terms of writing, that we also use human to check as well, just to be fair for the test takers.
Oh, so I think in this brief time we touched upon on all the important aspects related to GED, whether it was testing or academic rigor or its international acceptance. One last thing that I would like to ask you is a brief message for the parents and the students, those who would like to pursue GED through Greenwich. What would your message be to them?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So I visited Greenwich today, and physically I have seen how great it is by myself. The people are wonderful. And what impressed me a lot is in terms of the educational quality. I can get that from interacting with them, talking with them. And, this is the great one. So I would like to invite all the parents who are interested, at least to have Greenwich is one of, your choices. And I would love and invite you to come and explore yourself and check more out information. I'm sure they can get better idea, and I wish them all, especially the students, to be successful. So come here and then check more information, and I'm sure they're going to impress with the quality that the university is now offering.
Thank you very much, Ben. So in today's episode, we had with us Mr. Ben, and he explained to us the global opportunities that come with GED and how students can pursue this pathway as a non-traditional learner as well. Thank you so much for joining in.